If you're a heat and air technician or even a salesperson, how do you take your concerns, worries, and complaints to a manager, and why does this matter? This is a super important question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to you live from Sacramento, California, on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you for HVAC technicians, sales secrets. Now, at some point, in all relationships, there is a difficult situation that you got to have a conversation about with boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, manager, and business owner. Now, 2 weeks ago, I had a technician that I mentor come to me and say, "Hey, Scott, I've got some problems at the office. How do I address these in a rational manner, in a meaningful way that's going to be heard, and that there's going to be a good outcome?" And I go, I got you. So I gave him the outline that I'm about to give you. Now, my version may not be your version, and your version may not be my version. So with that being said, I had to turn off an alarm. With that being said, take this list and use it to your advantage, because at least you have something, okay? So start paying attention to what you're complaining about. If you complain about something more than 3 times, it should really go on a list. Now, complaining like it's hot, I'm not talking about like, oh, it's hot. I'm saying like, let's say that dispatch keeps reaching out to you to deal with difficult people because you're the person who deals with difficult people, and then you got people over here building landmines and then just lobbing them your direction, and you're the one that has to clean them up, and you're the one that has to deal with them. Could it be cyclical? Sure, it could be. But if it's something that just consistently keeps happening over and over and over and over again, probably not cyclical. It's either by design, it's either by default, or either out of ignorance, okay? And that happens too, right? Sometimes it happens out of ignorance. You got a new person in the office, and they don't know, they haven't been trained. That's an office issue, and it's your role responsibility to take this to the manager. So like once you start seeing, hey, I went to Bob and complained that I keep getting stuck with difficult homeowners. I went to Jim and I keep, hey, I get difficult, clients. I went to Brian, hey, I keep getting difficult clients. Like, you should probably just sit down and go, okay, is this me? Is this nobody? I'm going to make a list, okay? Now with that list, once you get 2 or 3 things on it, you're going to want to get a hold of said manager or said business owner and say, hey, I got a couple things that I'd rather go over with you in private. As you build this list, it is probably best not to take it to the team and be like, because it's going to undermine you and it's going to undermine solutions, right? If it's an issue, take it to your owner, take it to your manager. You don't have to make a bunch of noise about this unless you want to be a drama king or a drama queen, okay? Number 3, add your concerns to this list, but come with 3 solutions, and then mark your top one, right? Know what you would do to fix this, right? Like, it's like, hey, I've got a problem with the way that I'm dispatched. And so like one solution could be, hey, I'll go in and I'll work with the office and let them know this is how leads look. Or I'll go in with the office and I'll let them know zip codes of areas. One solution could be, hey, maybe we could put a calendar together. One solution could be that that different technicians take care of different areas, which is kind of like a hybrid of all 3 of these, right? And so you're like, hey, I think the number 2 is the best. So you go to your owner and say, hey, here's my concern. Here's my 3 solutions, right? This is a good thing for you to do anyway in relationships and business, everything. Anytime you have a problem, try to come up with 3 solutions, maybe even 4 or 5, but pick the one that is going to work out best for you. And this is why you should go to HVAC Tech Secrets. I'll give you the good, techsecrets.com, HVACtechsecrets.com. I'm my own best cheerleader, just so you know. HVACtechsecrets.com. Okay. Number 4, you're going to go to the manager and you're going to be very calm and patient. Now, there are days that I have a temper. There are days, believe it or not, there's days that I have a temper and it's not good. And here's the thing, they may not know. They may not know what's going on, especially in a bigger organization. Or they may know and they can't say anything about it. Okay, so when I was a sales manager, when I was a manager of a department, when I was a trainer, there was times where people came to me with private things and I knew things that were going on and I knew the boundaries from HR of what I could say to this person, but I couldn't say to this person. But like I learned one thing from my dad, that if anybody comes to you with anything private, you lock that stuff up, right? There's things that I know that I will take to my grave. So if you ever came to me and you know me and you said, hey, Scott, XYZ is happening, that's in a lockbox. Now, don't tell me stuff that you're going to get in trouble for and I'd have to get subpoenaed for, because I'm not an attorney, right? I'm not an attorney. Number 5, understand that fair is objective. What's fair to me isn't fair to you, and what's fair to you isn't fair to me. So like when you're talking about these situations and you're making your list, like it has to be more than isn't fair. Like bring some proof, bring a list. Hey, here's all the things that happen, right? Now, I'm not trying to build a list for the sake of building a list. These are just the things that I noticed. Okay. And if you're saying fair a lot in your life, fair is your way to give somebody else power. The second that if I say fair a lot in my life and I start recognizing, I'm like, I am giving up all of my power to other people because they are ruling and reigning over the top of me. And since fair is very subjective, it's hard to figure out what is right and what's wrong. So like, I'm my own man. I have to make decisions for myself. Fair or unfair, there is the truth, there's not the truth, and then there's everything in between. Okay? Number 6, when possible, ask for their side. You know, what do you see going on here? Am I off my rocker? Are there things that I don't know? And sometimes there may be things that you don't know, but they can't say. And that's where it gets challenging because you're like, I really want to know. And they're like, I can't tell you. And sometimes a manager will say, hey, there's absolutely nothing I could do about this. And you just got to take it for what it is. Got to remember that, like, working at a company, there's going to be like 80% of things that you love about it. There's going to be about 10% of things that, you know, you're like, eh. And there's probably going to be like another 10% of things that just absolutely frustrate you, piss you off, make you angry. Whatever way you want to say that. Number 7, set dates. Set dates and mile markers and say, hey, look, for my concerns, is it all right if we circle back in 2 weeks and put it on the calendar? Put it on the calendar. If it's a concern right now, put it on the calendar. Hey, let's meet back in 2 weeks. Let's meet back in a month. You know, a quick meeting. Let's go to lunch. Whatever the thing may be. You know, and not for everything do you need to do this. And you know, not for everything do you need to go crazy and wild. So like if you get 3 or 4 things on a list over a 2-month span or a 1-month span or a couple week span, there's nothing wrong with going to a manager and saying, hey, I've got a couple of concerns. Like their role and responsibility is to deal with some of the issues that are going on. That's what they signed up for. Right. So like I've had managers tell me, why are you bringing this to me? I'm like, duh, it's your job. But I didn't say it that way. In my mind, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? That's your role and responsibility to take care of this stuff. That's what you signed on for. And, you know, I've literally had managers tell me like, hey, Scott, I don't care. Well, guess what? Your response is really going to dictate my response. And you have decisions to make. Do you stay? Do you go? I mean, is it egregious enough for you to like take your marbles and go home? Sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not. I can't tell you what you are going to do. I could just help you out here. And then number 8, bonus number 8. I almost said 7. Bonus number 8. Let it go. It's off your chest. And it may get dealt with. It may not get dealt with. And when I say let it go, the worst thing to do is go to the entire team of technicians and salespeople and right? If you had a private conversation, keep that conversation private. If it has to do with other people, they should have been in the room, right? If something's egregious enough, you know, like go grab HR, have the conversation, do what you got to do, but like keep that. Nobody wants to look at a technician, a salesperson, a coworker, and go, I can't tell that guy or that girl anything because they're going to tell everybody. And when managers do it, it's even worse because they have a responsibility to keep things to themselves. There you go. 8 ways to deal with, because there's a bonus in there. It was going to be 7. And then I was like, no, we're going to make it 8. 8 ways to deal with problems if you have some concerns as a technician or a salesperson. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Hit the button of subscribe, follow if you're watching on social media, and share with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.